you say Shy City? Shy City, Shy City. I'm coming home again.
Hey everyone, I'm Shaneen and you're watching Shaneen Knows Chicago. Find out everything there is to know about the Windy City and more. Joining us today is Chef Omanara from Expressions in Culinary. Hey Chef O, how are you today?
How you doing, Shaneen?
I am great. Thank you so much for joining us on Shaneen Knows Chicago. Today we're going to do a little bit talking about your business. You also have some surprises for us later.
Absolutely.
So first things first, why don't you tell us how you got started in cooking?
It was by happenstance. Maybe as a little kid, I was a latchkey kid. My dad never cooked, and so I sort of learned how to cook on my own. I would always watch Julia Childs for some strange reason as a kid. But more importantly, I just had a passion for cooking. I loved everything from going beyond boiling a hot dog and scrambling eggs. You know, I was a ramen noodle kid. You know, I experienced with ramen noodles. Any way you can cook a ramen noodle, I did it. So I sort of just developed my passion. And my mother's a great cook also, and she won many awards. And so I sort of learned from her also.
That's cool. Great. Your company is called Expressions in Culinary.
Yes.
That's spelled with the X, not EX, but Expressions in Culinary. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business about 3 years. It was sort of out of necessity and something I wanted to do. I was working at Robert Morris University as a culinary presenter, and I would go to all the CPS high schools, do culinary presentations, and work with a lot of at-risk students and at-risk kids. But I wanted to do more with it, and I wanted to eventually build my name and build my brand and start focusing on what it is my passion was, the X. So I like solving for the unknown, which is always the cuisine. You're gonna get something different every time I cook for you.
That is very, very interesting. I like that, solving for the X.
Thank you.
Okay, now your company, you do offer a lot of services.
Yes, we do.
You're catering and personal chef, and you also offer cooking classes. Why don't you tell us about the catering portion of the business?
Well, what I do, I work with different clients, and they will give me their budget, and I'll try to get an idea, a feel for them after a consultation, what it is they want to do. So I can cater from 5 people up to 500 people. But basically, I want whatever I do to be an expression of what it is you want to do. A lot of caterers just give you a pan of chicken, a pan of string beans, and some roast beef, and throw it out there, but that's not reflective of who the person is. So what I try to do is work with the person, get a feel for what it is they want, and go from there.
Sounds fantastic. Okay, and you're also a personal chef. Now, I understand that, again, you do a consultation with the client. Tell us more about that. Like, how does that go? If I wanted you to be my personal chef, then what would I need to do?
Oh, well, first I would meet with you, try to find out if you had any dietary restrictions, or were you working with a personal trainer and you had some goals that you wanted to reach. We would sit down and we would try to work that out and see what it is, if you wanted high carbs, low carbs, high protein, veggies, whatever it is you wanted to focus on, that's what we would tailor your diet to. And we can tailor that to breakfast only, breakfast, lunch, 3 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is. But we want to focus on you, what Shaneen Murray wants to eat and how she wants to eat it. And that's the goal for being a personal chef, is to give people an alternative to saying, I don't have time to cook, let me just go run to McDonald's or Portillo's or whatever. All those high-fat, polysaturated diets that, you know, kill your midsection. So you kind of work with the person and find out what it is they want.
Fantastic. Now, if I wanted you to be my personal chef and I said, you know, we sat down and we talked, hey chef, you know, this is what I want, blah, 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 blah. How am I going to get it? All the food, how does that go?
Well, what I do, I buy a whole set of Pyrex dishes, and we trade those in and out. So Monday and Tuesday, I'll give you 2 fresh dishes. Wednesday, I'll come collect those and replenish your stock with something new. And it's going to be based on the menu that we created for you, and we go from there.
Okay, so it's a lot of interaction between you and your client. It's not just you, you know, meeting that one time, you preparing all.
No, not at all. I want to keep you on track. You know, you can always go get a lean cuisine for $1 and stick it in your freezer, but then that defeats the purpose. You want it to be fresh, you want it to be tasty, and you also want to know, hey, I had a great meal prepared by some blessed hands.
Hey, I heard that. Okay, now, because you are a chef, I have to ask Christmas, holidays, all that stuff, Thanksgiving, are you the go-to person? Is everybody like, oh, I wonder what Chef O is going to cook up? I want to go to Chef O's house.
You know what? Sometimes it is. I try to get a break. You know, I like to go and let it be a family affair. I may bring a dish because you don't want to intimidate someone, or people always say, oh, I can never cook for you. You want to have fun with it. But, you know, I always bring something to the party. But I prefer during Christmas and holidays, that time for fellowship, to, you know, take a break and let someone else cook for me.
Okay, I heard that. What's your favorite dish to whip up?
I like breakfast. I'm always a breakfast person, and sort of what we're going to talk about later on, almost Valentine's Day breakfast for dummies, you know, for the guys who want to do something real easy. I love French toast, so I'm going to do a little French toast and caramel walnut sauce, and
yum.
we go
Hear
from
that,
there.
fellas? Valentine's Day for dummies, a special sweethearts breakfast that Chef O is about to show us how to whip up right now.
All right, thank you.
Cool, let's go. Let's hope that Chef O gives your guys some great tips to make you happy this coming Valentine's Day. Okay, Chef O, let's get started because I'm hungry. Show me what you're working with.
All right, well, first things first, sanitation is key, so you always have to wash your hands. I believe in thoroughness and cleanliness. And what we're going to do, we're going to start off with some French toast, apple sausage, and some red potato hash browns. But more importantly, what we want to do first, we want to get our potatoes in the water. It's called parboiling. Just want to chop them up, quarter them, get them in the water. So, and that's all. So, Shaneen, what's your favorite Valentine's Day thing to do?
I like to eat. French toast is my favorite, I will say that, so I'm really excited that you are making one of my favorite dishes today.
Oh, yes.
But as far as Valentine's Day, you know, I really don't do a lot of celebrating. That's a whole nother show, everybody. We don't want to talk about that,
Okay.
but
We'll talk about relationships and love next.
yeah, that's another show. But I do love candy, so me personally, I like to give Valentine's Day gifts.
Ah.
Yeah, so.
Wonderful. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I like to, when I create my batter for my French toast, I like to use eggs and heavy cream and a little sugar and a little cinnamon. That way, the heavy cream gives it a richness that you normally wouldn't get from milk.
Okay, so that's a different technique right there. That's your best kept secret, I heard.
No, the best kept secret I can't put on the table.
Okay.
But more importantly, it's love.
Whipping cream is different because, when I make French toast, I do add milk. So.
You add milk, okay. Well, this is, look, for people who are counting calories, this is a calorie buster. So if you are looking to watch your figure, this is not something you want to do. And I normally add a half a cup of heavy cream to this, all stirring. And once it just changes color a little bit, you know, the egg yolk is a dark in color. You just want to get that in there like that. So, and to beat those eggs, you add a little cinnamon.
Just a pinch?
Just a pinch. When people at home want to know, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. And what I do here, take a third cup of sugar, sweeten it. You know, you want to make that French toast taste like French toast.
Now, why did you choose French toast today out of all the things? You could make pancakes or waffles. I mean, I know that this is Valentine's Day for dummies, you know, sweetheart breakfast. So why did you choose French toast?
Well, because French toast is easy. You know, it's impossible to mess this up. Well, I won't say impossible, but if you really want to get into it, you want to surprise that special someone in your life, it's nothing easier than dipping bread and putting it on the skillet. So once you get this ready, you kind of want to stick this back in the refrigerator and start focusing on your sausage.
Okay, now why are you sticking it back in the refrigerator? Because I know, you know, most people would probably just leave it sitting out, you know, until they got ready to dip the bread.
No, absolutely not. See, what we want to do with our eggs, because it is warm in here, we don't want that to get to room temperature. You always want to be safe. You want to make sure that you don't get any foodborne illness. The problem with eggs you can get shigellosis, which is something that comes from eggs, and that would kill you, or really be a bad day for you. So you sort of want to clean that area up and grab me another knife. Never want to cross-contaminate. And so I like this sausage. It's an apple sausage. You can get bacon or Eckridge Farm or whatever it is you want to do. But, you know, it's going to be a sweet sausage. We're going to add red onions to that. And the thing with sausage, they're already cooked. All you want to do is put a little olive oil in a skillet and get these suckers going.
Okay.
So, you know, you got your meat. Somebody doesn't like pork, and they say, I'm a turkey person. No problem. And I got a little something for everyone.
Yes.
Be my beautiful assistant. Could you hand me that saute pan right there?
Sure. The bigger one or the smaller?
No, the bigger one. Thank you. All right, see, she assisted today. So I like to get this on a crosswise cut. And you can see, if you look at it, you can see the apples in there. Gives it a nice taste.
This is chicken apple sausage.
Yes. And you can get this at any local supermarket, you know, your Sam's, Trader Joe's. I just like the way it tastes. Some people like Eckridge Farm. There's turkey bacon. There's all sorts of products that you can put out there. So you want to start off on medium heat. Get your pan hot. I put a little olive oil in there. That way I can get my red onions to caramelize. And put just a little bit more. Not too much. You don't want to burn that. And see, now our red potatoes are already working. So within maybe another 10 minutes, we want to pull our red potatoes. Everything, the French toast should be last. The last thing we're going to do is the French toast, and then we're going to do our caramel sauce. So we want to get our sauté pan hot. The thing about olive oil, it has a high smoke point. So with olive oil and the high heat, it'll get hot, and we just want to dump that off and then dump the sausage in there and make sure we get them cooking, warm them up.
Okay, so now you've added the chicken sausage, the chicken apple sausage, and the onions. So what are you doing now?
So we're going to go into the caramel sauce. The most intricate part of the breakfast is getting the caramel sauce ready, because we're not going to use regular syrup. It wouldn't be a special Valentine's Day if you wouldn't got some Aunt Jemima or some buttermilk. So what we're going to do, I'm going to transfer this over here while our sausage is working. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take a stick of butter, or half a cup, and we're going to take a full cup of brown sugar.
Okay. And is the heat also going to be on high, or?
Yes, I'm going to get it on high because I like to get my butter melted. And also I like using this heavy quart pot, because with brown sugar, any type of sugar you cook with, it's extremely hot. It bubbles up, and then you want to be safe and have some room around the edges or the top of the pot.
So it won't overflow.
Not only does it overflow, anytime you use sugar, it's just extremely hot. You have to get it to a high temperature. And the way the caramel sauce works, and you have different variations, I like light brown sugar. And what you want to do, get your butter melted and then incorporate the brown sugar.
Okay.
Miss Murray, could you hand me that sheet pan? I want to toast some walnuts. And the reason I want to toast these walnuts, I want to get them in the oven and release the oils, because nuts have natural oils in them. So you want to release those oils and make sure they smell good. I already have my oven preheated to 375. Not a problem. So now my butter's beginning to melt. It's getting there. Put a cup and a half of brown sugar. So what I want to do, I'm stirring it a little bit. I want to incorporate the butter and the brown sugar. And you want to use a heavy quart pan. When you do this, you don't want to use anything non-stick. You don't want to scrape the bottom of the non-stick pan. And after you see it starting to turn brown, we get a nice golden color.
That looks really nice.
Absolutely.
Now, how long are the walnuts supposed to stay in the oven?
Maybe about 15 minutes, or until you smell them. They'll be really fragrant.
Okay.
So what I want to do, cup of heavy cream. And while I'm stirring, I want to add this. So you have to be careful. You don't want it to splash up on you. Because that's what anything. And then it begins to take on a nice color.
It's definitely smoothing out a lot.
Oh yeah. Look at that. And that's going to be our topping for our French toast. But you have to turn your heat up to medium, and you have to constantly keep stirring, incorporating air into this.
Okay.
And now you see how smooth that is? And can't forget about our sausage. I'm going to hit this with a little olive oil. And these fellas are cooking. Alright, just taking a little salt. And I put a little more salt in my water with my red potatoes. I use kosher salt. You can use sea salt. And that's just to flavor the water, because when we pull the potatoes out, we're just going to toss them with olive oil, Parmesan cheese, stick them in the oven, and that's going to be our easy hash brown. All right.
This sounds fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And it does seem fairly easy, you know, for guys to make, or even women, you know, ladies, you can also make this Sweetheart's Breakfast for Dummies for your sweetheart. It doesn't have to be just for the fellas, but fellas, I encourage you to take notes from Chef O and whip your lady up something really nice.
And it's just all about having fun. That's all it is. You just want to have fun with it. Miss Murray has me nervous. Thank you.
I tend to have that effect.
Stop. So here we're going to do. We're going to dump our potatoes. Going to add some salt. I'm going to add a little pepper to this. And then we're going to add a little olive oil. And I'm going to get my spoon. And we're just going to toss it. Just want to toss this. Smells good.
Yes, it does.
When we stick it in the oven, what we're going to do is going to toast itself off. And then that's called the easy hash brown. No fuss. A lot of people are worried about what they need to do. Could you hand me the bigger line sheet pan?
I sure can.
Okay, get this out of the way. And so what we want to do to keep it from sticking, just take a little olive oil on my brush. And you can use parchment paper. Parchment paper is good with this too, but majority of people just have aluminum foil. So you just want to coat the bottom of that. Stick our potatoes on there, just like that. Right our pan. And just cover them with cheese. That's all we want to do. And it's just enough for two. You're fixing enough for two people. Cover them with cheese. Stick those in the oven. They'll be ready in no time.
How long are the potatoes supposed to stay in there?
Well, they're already cooked. So what we want to do with our potatoes, we just want that cheese to melt. Now we come back to our caramel sauce. Looks like it's ready. I'm just going to add just a little bit more heavy cream. And voila. Gonna take it off the fire. Now we want it to cool down. You don't want to put this on there too hot. Now we're gonna go over to the topping, which is the whipped cream. You can get Cool Whip, you can get Ready Whip in a can. Personally, I like using heavy cream. You have a hand mixer at home, you have a KitchenAid mixer. What you want to do, put that sucker on high, get you some sugar.
So right now, you are making whipped cream.
Yes, I am. Whipped cream.
Now that is really cool. I've not seen anyone make whipped cream before. I am really impressed over here that you did not go in the fridge and pull out some Cool Whip.
No, I mean, because it takes away from the authenticity of it. Go ahead. Alright, so we have our heavy whipping cream, and what we want to do is make sure we have a soft peak. And this is what we call soft peak.
Wow.
And it's just regular whipping cream.
It's made whipped cream.
Right, and what we're going to do, we're going to stick this in the refrigerator until it is ready. We're going to pull our egg mixture out. Almost set to go. We took our toasted walnuts out. Oh, smell that.
It smells great. It smells really good in the kitchen, period. You all are missing it, and I cannot wait to eat.
So I like to use a thicker cut bread or Texas toast. Normally, some people can't make brioche, which is a type of bread, but you can go to your baker and get a loaf of bread that hasn't been sliced. Jules, Dominic's, they all offer it, and you can slice it however thick you want it. What I do, I take it out the package, let it sit out, get a little crustiness on it. It's going to be soft on the inside, but you want that hardness. It's going to taste really good. It's going to cook up. So, we got our medium heat, and we're going to dip. Very easy.
And dip. And dip.
Now, here's a trick I like. I just take my pastry brush and put a little oil on the griddle. And that's it.
Okay.
Now, I also take a paper towel, excuse me, Miss Murray, and now get the excess. Okay. The reason I do that, you don't want to fry the bread. All we want to do is just make sure that it's in there nice. Let that excess drain off. There's one. Let it drip off. We gotta get two. So I'm fixing breakfast for two. Miss Mary and I. Let's get that one more in there. We got room in the hot tub for one more. And there we go. So you want to rinse your hands well. I've already taken our sauce off the heat. Now it has a nice color, and what it's doing is cooling down. I just transferred it to another dish just so it can begin the cooling down process. It's very hot. You don't want to put the caramel sauce on the French toast extremely hot. So what we do, sit this guy to the side.
When it cools off, it thickens up a little bit.
Yes, it does. But we just want the right consistency. So that's a great question. I already have some already ready that I prepared earlier. And it's nice and thick how we want it.
How long do you want the caramel sauce to sit to get the perfect consistency?
Maybe like 30 minutes.
Okay.
We'll do it 30 minutes, and there you have it. So, I like bananas.
A
lot of people like to do this dish a certain way. I like bananas on my French toast with the caramel sauce. It's almost like a bananas Foster, so to speak. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at this.
Very pretty.
Color. Just so it looks pretty when it hits the plate. Stick that in there. Oh, there's a little guy who wants to get out the hot tub. Let's get our plate for presentation. So we do. Down there. Get a couple of our walnuts. I like them nice and big. People don't like walnuts. I do. Get a couple of bananas on there.
You know, it's actually it's funny that you're making today everything that I like. Like I would eat this, you know, normally. Well, I mean, maybe not
and so
quite the way he just prepared it, but.
And we just take our whipped cream. Get you a nice spoon.
I still just can't believe that you just made whipped cream. It looks great.
Put that on there. And voila.
It's very pretty.
You have your French toast. And then we have our sausage and potato hash brown coming out. So our hash browns have been in the oven for 20 minutes. Excuse me. And you just want to stick those guys on the plate. People don't like marrying the food together. I'm one of those people. Like to get that on there. We add some more cheese. Get a little bit more Parmesan cheese on top of that.
And you're using Parmesan today, but
I mean, if you can't afford it, you can get mozzarella. They have 5 cheese Italian blenders, all sorts of things you can use. Make sure you turn your oven off. Let's get this out of the way.
You're welcome.
Sauces are already ready. I'll put those on there like that. Let's get those guys on. Oh my God. These guys smell good. Have nice color. And so, for the young man or young lady who you're cooking for, everything is on one plate. And what we want to do, put a little color on there. Give them something.
Those look pretty.
And what we do, we take us a little parsley. We'll chop you up some parsley.
Now, Chef O, you also offer cooking classes with your company. If someone wanted to sign up for a cooking class, you do that for groups or just individuals, or do you host cooking parties?
Oh, it could be for individuals. It could be for a party of 4. It's basically, you know, young ladies may want to have a party, have a wine party, get together. Maybe we can do a dessert. Maybe we can do some type of wine pairing. And it's just having fun. It's all about having fun. It's all about getting in the kitchen and not being afraid and learning something new.
Sounds great.
I'm on fire.
Well, let's try this meal. But first things, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, as Chef O just said, that you can, you know, sign up for cooking classes, group party. Sounds like a lot of fun, interactive. Seems to me that Chef O definitely knows what he's doing. He knows all about the kitchen and cooking. He offers catering. He is a personal chef. And you can also take up instructional classes. So be sure to check out Chef O at Expressions in Culinary. XPRESSIONS in culinary.com. Okay, everyone, we just got out of the kitchen with Chef O, and he has prepared this lovely Sweethearts Breakfast for Dummies. You can use it for Valentine's Day, or it can be for any day. He has blessed my life with some French toast topped with walnuts and caramel drizzle and homemade whipped cream. We have easy hash browns and chicken apple sausage.
Yes, and I'm ready to eat.
I am too. Before we dig in, about how long would it take for someone, you know, to make this meal?
With preparation, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You might want that special one to still be asleep while you're making it.
Okay.
And you can do this under budget, maybe $25 to $30 total for everything. So it's not a lot, and you don't have to blow out your budget for Valentine's Day.
Okay, cool. We're going to list this recipe on the website, ShaneenKnowsChicago.com. So be sure to check that out and plan appropriately, guys and dolls, for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. And I'm going to plan to taste Chef O's meal. I'm Shaneen. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Great. It's so good. Thanks, Chef O.
You're welcome.
Yum.
Yeah. And you say Shy City, Shy City, Shy City. I'm coming home again.